16 minutes past 8. Welcome back to Sunrise DB. We're coming to you live from Abuja, venue of the World Pension Summit Africa Special. We're joined now by Dr. Uduaghan, Governor of Delta State, to continue our focus on this matter. Morning, and thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Part of the thrust of the 2014 Pension Reform Amendment Act is to also unlock the pension assets for national development. You had issued your views on this matter yesterday, but do you think that this World Pension Summit will also address this issue, and how sufficiently do you think it will?
Well, from presentations yesterday, it's obvious they will address these issues. Now, the point I was trying to make is, you have a lot of money just lying down there, I think also over 4-something trillion. And yet, developers are struggling to get funds from the banks at very high interest rates. Federal, state, local government, even private developers. And my argument, I didn't even start it today, with this, if you recall, at the South-South Summit. It's one of the things I took up with the Minister of Finance. Why don't you make this money available for those who are who need long-term funds? Because most of the funds in the banks now are short-term funds. And the only way we can provide long-term funds is through monies like this. And because they are short-term funds in the banks, the interest rates are very high, really, really very high. And but if this money is made available, it will reduce the interest rate, and people can now borrow more and be able to develop.
It's interesting because I was, we did see the DG, I think, of the Sovereign Wealth Fund, and he told us that the money is going to be used to build the second Niger bridge. It's coming from the Sovereign Wealth Fund, and I think in some parts are going to be involving monies from pensions or so. Yeah. And we were wondering just how it worked in terms of the returns on the money. If you say that the money's lying down there, 4.3 trillion naira could help in infrastructure development, how do pensioners get their returns? Since we do know that when government builds infrastructure, it is to enable an enabling environment for investors, not necessarily to bring back returns. Yeah. How do the pensioners then make their own money back?
Well, no matter how small the interest is, so extra money comes in. The second Niger bridge, for instance, may or may not be tolled. So at least somehow it might make some extra money from the tolling. But even if it's not tolled, they are good that collecting this money from the banks. There's some interest rates, 5%, 6, 7, and I do hope that from that interest that they are making, they will also credit the account of the beneficiaries of the pensioners. So I don't think it's money that is being made that either the custodians or the government will keep. It should reflect also in what goes to the pensioners.
Okay, now looking at the reforms, some of the reforms that have been enacted, we're looking at an increase from 15 to 18%. Now employers now have to pay 10%. You are the executive governor of your state, so it means that your wage bill will move slightly up. Is this something?
No. We actually started with 16%.
Okay, so
for the first, we're above 16%. I mean, it was quite heavy on us. At that time, the law was 7.5%. So we said, okay, instead of making it 16, we'll now turn down to 10. So we're actually been on 10. So for us, really, the new law just confirms with what we've been doing.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have to get this right.
10 by the employer, that is the government, then 7.5 by the workers. That's what we've been.
So in Delta State, you were doing 17.5?
Yes, we're doing 17.5.
Not even the 15?
No, not even 15. In fact, we started with 16 plus 7.5, which was about 22.5. But later, now after 2 years, it was quite heavy of us. We now had to bring it down to 10 and 7.5, so it was 7.5. So what we just do now is to increase one of the workers to 8%, and makes it 18.
What about other states that are not doing the same level? Are you bothered in terms of their compliance and getting more states to participate?
Yes, actually, it's only a few states that are doing it. It's quite heavy on any state. We, for instance, we've contributed about 16 billion between 2007 and now. It's not easy to just put 16 billion aside. That 16 billion would have probably done 3-4 flyovers if I were to use it. So it's not easy to start. But you see, you need to start. The other challenge really in starting, what affects many states is that the period between the old scheme and the new scheme can constitute a lot of problem. And that is the problem we had. So much so because we're supposed to have what we call legacy funds, which you keep aside to pay between the old and the new scheme. But at the time we started, we did not keep that kind of fund aside. So it was quite heavy on us. And there was some delay in payment of those who retired between that time. It's now we're even just trying to clear that one. And so as soon as we're able to clear it, then we'll start selling smoothly.
But do you think that those who have questions on insurance of those pension funds, for instance, when they pay, if states are not able to pay back, something that there may be a challenge there, do you think so?
So with the old system, that was a big challenge, but I don't think with the new system, it's because in this system you have the pension fund administrators, what they call the PFAs, and you have the custodians, which are the banks. So you have that triangle between the employer, in our own case, the state government, with the pension bureaus, because we have the state pension bureau and local government pension bureau, with taking all the records and documentations and all that. And then the PFAs, the pension managers, who are like, as a worker, you choose who your PFA should be. And the PFA is supposed to alert the worker on a monthly basis. But we discovered 2 weeks ago that some PFAs were sending alerts on a monthly basis, some on a quarterly, and in fact, one was not sending almost at all. So I had to ensure that meetings are held and now it is streamlined, because they should send alert to the workers every month. Every month. So if we pay some money, our workers are not getting the alert. But I think they streamlined that now. So we have the custodian, which is the banks that keeps the money. We have the PFAs, and we have, of course, the state government through the pension bureau. So we have all these records. So it's difficult, for anybody to touch.
What's the difference between the old system, which is the pay-as-you-go system, and what we have now that we are seeing this triangle come in of the PFAs, the banks, and even the employer, the state government? So the old system, which was the pay-as-you-go,
that was entirely by the government. This one is contributory. It's both you as the worker and the government. That one, you just work, nothing comes out of your salary. When you retire, some percentage is paid to you as a pension on every month. We still have that category of persons. In actual fact, in about a month, we have about 500 and something million that we pay for the old category of persons. So that one is still there. But with this one, as you are working, you are contributing. It's like teaching you to save some money as a worker, so that when you finish, when you too old to work, that savings you have made between you and the government, or you and your employer, you get paid from that savings.